Hi, and welcome to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, with my most wonderful co-host, Judy Lozier.
I love being here with Veronique.
I know.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
I know, it's hard to believe it's Monday again.
Yes, it is, and Mondays aren't my best, but this is a reason to get up and get out and say hello to our viewers and share some exciting topics with them.
I know, there's so much going on.
I know, and again, we're live in Miramichi at Rogers Studio.
Yeah, and I have the quote today.
Yes, yes.
I got to put my thinking cap on and see what spoke to me.
Okay, Veronique.
So here we go. So it's a quote by Howard Thurman, and it says, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive."
Oh, I have not heard that. The name Howard Thurman rings bells, but that particular quote, I don't think I've seen.
Me either.
And so basically what I take from that is do your thing to add to the people out there that will need you. I have a very big zest for life.
Oh, yes, you do.
I do. And I love to use that energy to spin off and hope it's contagious to other people that I come in company with. Yep. And you're the same, Veronique. I find no matter what load you have on your plate, whether it's work or special commitments, you put on your good face and you go and you join in and support the community, and it makes it work.
Well, and that's what, it's the reason why I moved home 13 years ago. I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself.
Yes.
And I wanted to have, I guess, an impact.
And you have had.
And so, and I learned all that from you.
Oh, no, you did not.
I did. I was inspired to do that one wintry day in 2004.
A long time ago.
Yeah. But anyway, so 2005 actually, because I moved home in 2006.
Yes.
But yeah, and I think whether it's your work, and maybe not everybody's work is their passion, and that's okay.
No.
But if it's not your work, then find that thing that makes you happy to go out and do it.
Exactly. I just love life. I just do. Some people, I think, kind of just go through life and they just go through it. They don't necessarily love it. They survive and they go day to day with a mundane routine.
It's
however,
true.
but some people live every single moment like it's their last.
Yep.
And that's what I hope to do.
Yeah, and it's funny. And we've talked about this often, but I just decided last year that I really wanted to do things with people that I loved, and that's continued this year. Although I had somebody ask me the other day, they said, "You haven't done so much this year." I said, "Oh wait, it's coming."
I know.
It's coming. I got some
plans.
stuff planned for the summer, but but it's that desire to make those memories rather than have more stuff.
True. So as you know, I had the week in Montreal.
You did?
Yeah, I just got back last night, and with my husband, and Evan is not living in Miramichi, but he flew up. We flew up, and he joined us. And my nephew Aiden lives in Montreal. So we all got together, and to your quote, we had the most beautiful family time. Even though the guys are adults now, it's about the fine dining, it's about the conversation, it's about the energy that we brought as a whole to the table when we were dining, etc. And we love to get together and laugh and share stories, and it was very special. We stayed at the Queen Elizabeth Hotel,
beautiful,
which everybody knows is right in the heart of Montreal. And actually, it was the 50th anniversary of John and Yoko Ono's Bed In for Peace. So it was 50 years that they, actually in 1969 they got married that March. And the Vietnam War was raging, so John Lennon was all about peace and Yoko Ono. So instead of going out and protesting, they thought they would do a non-violent type protest in their bed in the hotel room, first at the Amsterdam Hilton, where they initiated this, and then they moved another bed in at the Queen Elizabeth and stayed right in bed with the cameramen around.
Isn't that amazing,
singing and making music about peace and love and no more war. So while we were there, everything was decorated as such for the celebration. Big cars, the Rolls Royce that John Lennon, not the actual one, that's in the museum, but they brought the pretty much identical car that he drove at that time, and there were globes of love and peace and everything. It was glorious. And then I got to go to the Thierry Mugler Haute Couture exhibition at the Museum of Fine Arts.
You must have been beyond yourself.
You know me.
Yes.
You know me, and the boys were like saying, "Mom, how could you appreciate that as art?" And I think of him as being one of the great fashion designers from France who did probably the most spectacular runway shows ever. And I got to go to his expo, and I was Yes, I was elated.
Yeah, I'm sure.
My jaw was hanging out actually.
Oh, you must have had such a good time. And the food.
The food, the
was
choices
fantastic.
of restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love trying new foods. Are you daring?
I am. I will eat just about anything.
You will try.
Yeah.
There are people that are meat, potato, vegetable, strict.
No.
No, I like to explore.
Yeah, me too. I love it. And it's funny that you mentioned that time with family because just before, Dad's been come back now 2 weeks ago, but Dad came home for a couple of weeks, which was so unexpected for
Beautiful
us.
time.
Yeah, very unexpected. And we got to spend almost 2 full weeks with him here, which is unusual for Dad because Dad's in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, so it's a long ways for him to come home.
He's a huge, what do I say, everything around him is pressured all
Yeah,
the time. The
all the
stress
time.
load
Yeah.
that man carries
Yeah,
as
yeah.
the chief of security.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So it was really great for us to be able to spend that time with him, and it was really, we didn't do anything like big or
No.
extravagant. We just spent time together,
I think it's special.
and it was the nicest. One of the nicer trips that we've had with time with Dad because
Quality.
you know when he came home in February, which was really nice. We hadn't seen Dad for almost a year at that point,
Oh.
and he came home in February and we went to Vegas and it was very exciting. We had a wonderful time. But this time it was just we just kind of hung out,
Yes,
and that was really nice.
special.
Yeah.
And more time to really talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Downtime.
It was good. So last weekend there was so much going on.
Like I said, people will never be bored in Miramichi.
No, and if you are, just hang out with us for a little bit.
Just call the show.
Yeah,
We'll
you'll
get you
know.
hooked up.
So Rib Fest happened over the weekend.
I missed that.
Oh my goodness, it was good.
Did you try a special one, or did you try?
I went to. So it's funny. I kind of get my favorites and then I stick a little bit.
That's what people say.
And Texas Rangers is my favorite.
Okay.
And so I had their pulled pork sandwich.
Sounds yummy.
Oh, it was delicious. But what was even more incredible was it was so warm this weekend.
Well, there we had 2 great hot days in
And it was
Montreal,
unusual.
and then rain, and,
Yeah.
and then sun and rain. It was peculiar weather.
Well, and with Rib Fest, every year it's been cold and rainy.
So that day that you went was sunshine.
Beautiful.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Beautiful.
I'm grateful to that. They put their heart and soul into that
They
event.
did, and everybody was out, and there was a
Yes.
different energy, and they had Kids Fest as well.
I know.
And I was talking to somebody today, one of the vendors at Kids Fest,
Mm-hmm.
and they said that they saw probably 2,500 kids.
I'm so thrilled. We had them on, the Rotary Club of Newcastle,
Yeah.
2 members not too long ago.
Yeah.
And like I said, weather is a huge factor, even though they're prepared for, rain.
Well, it was cold Sunday, cold and rainy
you
Sunday.
just said it, the sun brings the new vibe to the people.
It was incredible.
It gives you a lift.
Yeah, it was incredible, and we had some fresh pressed lemonade, and it was just it
glorious
was
time.
grand. Yeah.
Can I just say that I want to give a big shout out to the Toronto Raptors? Oh my
Yes, I
gosh,
know, I
it's
know.
exciting.
I know.
I would have loved to have been at that game. I think the seats would have been a little bit exorbitant in price,
bit.
but my son Evan and Jansen and Aiden got together at a sports bar in Montreal after we all went out to dinner, and they watched the big win. And they're
was
such
incredible.
Raptors fans,
Yeah.
and maybe not everybody out there is.
No.
But just so they know, that the Raptors did beat the Milwaukee Bucks
Yes.
100-94. It was a nail-biting game,
And the last few games have been. There was a game. It was the game before when Kahi sunk that free throw almost.
He's amazing.
And it bounced 4 times before it went in the
I know
basket.
it was
I
it was
know.
a lump in your throat moment.
It was.
But it's the first time in history that they get to go to the finals.
Yes, I know.
So my guys came in just pumped.
Of course
because,
they did.
You don't dare talk at home when the game's
No.
on. But this
No.
time they were just in. They were so excited.
Yeah.
And I am too.
Yeah.
They've got some, big stars out there. So
Great
let's
time.
keep going.
I know, and you know what? We the North, eh? Like let's hope that let's hope it comes home to
We're
Canada.
cheerleading for them. I don't know about
agree.
anybody else, but go Raptors, go.
I know, it's true. The bass tournament, the Striper Cup bass tournament was here for the city as well. Jeff Wilson and the city of Miramichi sponsor that. It was incredible to see the boats on the
I
river.
saw them before I left.
It
and
was
I was
incredible.
thinking, this is the first time I've ever seen that many out
I
there
know.
in the river.
Well, that's the thing. The individual competition started on May 1st, and then the team competition happened over the weekend. And like every weekend from the 1st of May to look out on the river and
know.
to see the boats, it's so wonderful.
Well, that's showcasing our beautiful Miramichi River and
That's
people
exactly.
having fun
Yeah.
and doing what it's meant to do, enjoy the water. and,
Exactly.
and get your catch.
Yeah.
But it was very photography worthy to see
Oh,
that. Like, I'm
yes.
sure there were some spectacular photos of
Oh
the
yeah,
boats.
yeah. Oh, for sure. And on their Facebook page, on the Miramichi Striper Cup Facebook page, on the weekend, I saw some incredible pictures.
Yeah, we have some great photographers
Oh, my
that are
goodness.
pro,
Yeah.
and we have some amateurs as well that I've
Yes,
seen
yes.
that just capture that special. The
It's
sun
really-
on
yeah.
the boat, or the people that don't know, the candid shots are the ones I love the most.
I loved it all. I loved it all. It was so energizing, and I keep
Yeah.
using that word today,
That's
but
good.
that
Feel it,
was
bring it on.
that was the feeling this weekend.
And we drove home last night, and they were lined up the trucks all along
yeah.
the river, and we thought, oh my gosh, they're still going at
Oh
this.
yeah, yeah. It was cold yesterday though.
It was, but the rain didn't deter people.
No,
it
it didn't
still
seem to.
was. It still was packed.
Yeah, it didn't seem to. So now on top of all of that,
What?
Friday night, there was the fundraiser for St. Michael's Basilica Capital Campaign with the Bettys from
The
Toronto.
Betty's. I emceed that show 4 years ago. And speaking of energy,
Oh.
they have it. Patty Burchill is a local girl. She's been involved in many musical areas in our dance and theater and all of that. She's done cruise ships performances for years.
She's incredibly gifted.
Yes, she is a very multi-talented young lady, and she and the two girls with her, the trio, performed at James M. Hill, and they did music everything from the 20s to the 60s
know.
and beyond.
Yeah, incredible.
And they
eh?
have costume,
Yeah.
and they have a full band,
Yes.
and she's one of our very own. So I'm sure, like I said, I had been to the first show, missed the second one, but I'm sure they really warmed up the crowd and did an
Yeah.
incredible performance.
I think it was quite spectacular.
Good.
Yes,
Another
yeah.
successful show.
I know, and there's always, when we talk about it all the time, there's always so much going on.
I know.
Always.
And what else is coming up? Well, the Josie Foundation is coming
yes,
up.
yeah.
And that will be June 7th at the Kin Center, and we'll get into more detail about
Yeah,
that. But
for sure.
for anyone who's looking for tickets, you can go on the Josie Foundation website, www.josiefoundation.ca, and inquire or phone Lois Tozer. And I don't have the number right at my fingertips because it's yet to come. She's going to be on actually talking about it in the near future on a show. But book that night, June 7th, for the event. It's to support the people in our community that have chronic, long-term medical illness and perhaps can't be going to their employment, so they're home and need help with groceries,
Yep.
travel,
Yep.
expenses for their gas to go for perhaps chemotherapy. So much it involves, and you're supporting those in need for the right medical cause. And I encourage you to go. It's a heartwarming evening,
Yep.
and we'll be bringing more information to the show about that.
Well, and I know Minister Jake Stewart was on last fall to talk about the Josie Foundation, or maybe the year before, and how, near and dear, he had started the foundation in honor of his grandmother,
Yes, he
Josie.
did. Yes, he
and the good work that all of you have been able to do. I know you're on the board there, and it's incredible. So I'm looking forward to that event
Good.
too.
I know your schedule's tight, Veronique, but book it. And like I said, we're going to have a guest speaker that has lost his wife,
Yes.
and who has had his daughter survive cancer, which is
Yeah.
a huge story. He's going to be our guest, and I'll keep that little secret,
Yeah.
that little nugget for Lois when she comes on the show to
Yes,
talk
yeah.
about. But June 7th it is at the Kin Center.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Yeah.
So when
for
are we
sure.
going to get sunshine, Vero?
Well, I'm hoping at some point it's
I
going to
mean,
come.
here I am, and the viewers can relate. You go into your closet, you're thinking, oh my gosh, here's my nice summer, spring sweater I'm going to put on, or top, little light
No.
top. And then it rains. So
I know.
there I am with my winter coat and my heat on in the house.
I still am wearing my turtlenecks.
It's unusual.
Yeah, I'm cold.
Yeah, I know. And people are.
Yeah.
So we have some pretty incredible guests coming on
We
today that
do.
we have been greatly fortunate to have booked.
I know. I'm really looking forward to everything that we're going to have on the show today. I just want to give another plug, though, for the Relay for Life.
Yes, please.
It's coming up, and the location has changed. It's now going to be on the square in Miramichi West, in Newcastle, or whatever you'd like to call it. It's going to be on this side of the river. And a new format, new day. It's looking exciting.
June
Yeah.
8th.
I want to say 6th, but I'm not 100%
Okay.
sure.
So
We'll come back with that one.
We will, but support the Relay for Life for those who have been
You can
in your
put your
life.
team in still.
Yeah, that have dealt with cancer, have been lost to cancer, or dealing with it. And the survivors, you can cheer them on and all of that. It's an amazing day.
I know. And
It'll
it's
pack. It'll be packed.
Yeah, I always love the Survivors Lab.
Yes, and they have it. Like I said, it's a new location, so it's going to bring a whole new facelift to the
Agreed.
event.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of spring?
My favorite part of spring, I think the flowers.
Yeah.
When I see them in bloom, I was, like I said, in Montreal looking at the tulips. They were multicolored, the reds, the yellows, they were just vibrant. And the trees, like the magnolia trees in certain places are starting to blossom. It's beautiful. The flowers, to me, make spring.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think it's the, again, I'm going to go back to energy. It's a different energy.
Renewal.
Yeah.
It's a
because,
renewal.
winter feels so heavy and, your clothes are heavy and the weather's heavy and.
We've had winter since October. It is now May 27th,
I know.
so it's time.
It's terrible.
Mother Nature to give us a little break.
I know.
And we cannot control it. And I said to somebody, imagine living over in England or Scotland where it's like this a lot of the time, the weather.
Yeah, it's sorry, I can't hear our producer very well, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. So we're just trying to figure out where we're at for our break time. But it's incredible what spring does to change your plans and your feelings and your energy level and all of
just
that.
to get my dog out. Meryl, I haven't been able to walk Diva very well all winter long because of the ice and the snow and cold. I don't want to be out and freeze or break my neck.
No, and that's exactly it. And it's the same with my Jenny,
Right.
my 80-pound sheepdog.
I know. So now we'll be able to get them on the leash, get them out. They need that. Dogs need the smell of the forest and I'm afraid of ticks, but we get her checked at the vet, so hopefully all's good there.
She just got her spring haircut.
Yeah, spring haircut.
Well, she's so cute.
They're beautiful.
I know, and she came home with a little bow in her hair.
Oh.
Yeah, and then she can tolerate it for a little while, and then she starts picking at it.
Like a woman would.
Yeah.
But they need that as humans do, the outings. They need that
Oh,
time.
yeah. And she needs that fresh air, and we're finding too with Bud, our little fella, our little doggy, he's 11 now.
Yes.
So he's getting
to get out.
He's getting cranky, and he needs
So our guests are coming on.
I know. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So we're going to have a fantastic show for you today, and it's all about heart. We've got it, but also how important it is to take care of it. So we want to make sure that you don't go too far. If you need to get a coffee to warm up a little bit, that's okay. You can go do that too.
Winter coat's good too.
But we want to make sure that you stay on the couch and hang out with us for a little while. It is such an exciting show. So we'll see you soon. All right? Don't go too far. Thanks. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. My name is Veronique Arsenault, and I'm your host today with my wonderful co-host, Judy Loge. Welcome to Monday.
Yes, we're back.
I know, it's exciting.
I like this Monday because, like I said, it's a reason to get up and get
That's
energized.
right. That's right.
Monday.
We are joined by two incredible guests, and we are lucky each and every week to have wonderful guests that come to share their story, very brave stories. But today we're joined by Natasha and Jesse Russell.
Yes.
So welcome to you both. Thank you both for coming on the show today.
You both look great.
Yes.
You look so chill.
I know.
You gotta have that going on live TV. You have to be laid back, right?
I wasn't that chill at 11.
No.
Natasha, tell us a little bit about you.
I've born and raised in Nabin. Married a fellow from Nabin as well.
Kept it all there,
And started out as a stepmom to Nathan and Jordan, followed by having Jesse and Jaden are my twins. I should add that Nathan and Jordan are also twins.
Oh,
You're
wow.
a twin, Jesse?
Yeah.
You're a twin. Did not realize that.
Wow.
Twin
oh,
brother.
cool.
Two sets of twins.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Do you look like your brother?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. You kind of like that, eh?
Yeah. So she has a twin brother, Jaden, and they have a younger brother, Jake.
Wow.
Yes.
Big
yes,
family keeping you
yes.
busy.
Yes, yes, busy at times.
What about you,
yes.
Cutie? What do you want to tell us about yourself?
So your name is Jessie.
Yeah.
Okay, and how old are you?
11.
Okay, and where do you go to school?
Napan Elementary.
Napan Elementary is a nice school.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
Do you like school?
Yeah.
You do. And you're in grade 5?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So they had a pretty spectacular story to tell.
I know,
I
I
mean,
know.
we're hoping that the viewers will get a lot of information about this and to take care of their heart and to watch for things. Maybe if they anywhere across the province or anyone watching the show can learn from. You're here to talk about it. What happened on a particular New Year's Eve?
We didn't realize, of course, when Jessie and Jaden were born, they were completely healthy. There was nothing that implied otherwise that they weren't.
Right.
New Year's Eve of 2015, my sister and brother-in-law, Kevin and Jackie McGraw, my nieces, Caitlin, Kristen, and Kaylee were down visiting with us.
Right.
And of course, the kids were quite hyped up, full of lots of energy.
Yep,
you
probably some
know,
sugar.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, showing off their, Christmas gifts,
Yes.
whatnot.
Having fun.
Yeah, so we were all just sitting in the living room, and there's music on the TV. So my nieces started, carrying on with the kids. They were dancing and jumping around, and she just collapsed.
Jessie just
She
collapsed.
She turned. She kind of made a quick turn and collapsed on the floor at my husband's feet.
Wow.
So you were 7?
She was 8. She
Eight.
had just turned 8 on the 21st of December.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So initially, it catches you so off guard that you thought, oh, did she
Faint.
or did she happen to hit her head on the
Or slip
island
or
of the
something,
kitchen,
yeah.
like when she turned and fell? But she had collapsed right at Jeff's feet, my husband's feet, like face down.
Oh.
So when he reached to turn her over, we knew immediately.
Something was wrong.
Like she was blue. We knew she wasn't
I was getting chills.
I know.
I'm getting
breathing.
goosebumps.
I remember Kevin, my brother-in-law, kind of went to her and pulled her over, onto the floor. And my husband had said, like, again, we were still like, well, she's okay.
She's okay.
She's
She's just
okay.
out
Like,
cold.
yeah, she maybe just
Seizure or something. You
Yeah,
don't know
her
what.
wind knocked out of her. But I remember my husband saying, call 911. She's not
Of course,
okay.
No.
Wow.
And Kevin and Jackie at that time, before I had even picked up the phone to place the call, had already started
Yeah.
CPR.
Really?
Yeah. So
You would not remember this. You were unconscious when you were taken to the hospital, and then when she got to the hospital, how much longer
It-
before
it
action was
just-
taken?
everything just seemed to work the way it was meant
Okay.
to be. Like, there was an off-duty paramedic on his way home from Bay St. Anne. The other paramedic working down there heard the 911 call, knew he would be coming by our house.
Imagine.
He arrived 6 minutes before the ambulance did, so took over
CPR.
CPR.
Yeah.
It was 18 minutes
Oh.
from the time the call was placed until the ambulance did get to home.
Oh my
It's hard to
goodness.
believe.
Yeah,
But you're such a survivor.
yeah. So of course CPR was done
So
continuously.
So she went into cardiac arrest, is what happened.
she was gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So when the paramedics did come, they were able to deliver one shock and got a rhythm
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
Stabilized enough to get her transported to the hospital. Here, I cannot say enough about Dr. Sarah Campo.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
I believe she's Carter now.
She's a lovely, wonderful doctor.
And the girls that night, they were unbelievable.
Really?
They really were. They placed a call, I believe, to the IWK, which Dr. Soder, the
Special.
ICU specialist, directed them. Sent life flight for us.
Wow.
You'd be just out of your mind with worry.
I really, My brother's a paramedic as well, so while I guess I don't real at the time. I'm looking back thinking that probably wasn't a good idea, but at the time, I had picked up my home phone and called him as well. So I had 911 on one phone and him on the other. And I remember initially him saying, "What? What do you mean they're doing CPR? Like, stop." Because it took him so off guard too. He thought, Jessie doesn't need CPR. Like, what do you mean? You're going to hurt her? Like, you know. But it wasn't, as the more I continued, he realized then something was very wrong.
And I hear how smart you are all the time, Jessie, just so you know. I hear really good things about you and how mature you are for your age. What is your heart condition?
It's long QT syndrome.
Long QT syndrome. Do you want to expand on that? Or I bet you know more about it than we do.
I'm sure you do. Does it happen in families? Like, is that something that, is it hereditary?
Genetic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it can be genetic.
Your younger brother has it as well?
Yeah, my younger brother Jake has it too.
So not your twin though?
No.
Nope.
No.
Interesting, because
funny.
when we were talking off air and you had said that one of your brothers had it, and I didn't realize you were twins, but when you said the twin, I assumed it would have been your twin.
Yeah.
So it's not your twin, it's your younger brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
But tell us about, okay, so I don't know how much time we have to get this whole story in. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
But now, what gadget, what type of medical device was required for her to continue on with normalcy?
We were originally sent home with an AED machine, which still put quite a bit of stress on us because it was, if this happened again, then we would have to perform CPR, and we had an AED machine at our disposal. It traveled everywhere with her.
Okay.
At the time, Dr. Dillon, her cardiologist, didn't want to go ahead and put an implant ICD in because she was still so small. And he has since put one in, but it had to be put in her abdomen because there's not enough room. She's not big enough up in the chest where it normally would go.
Does that bother you? Do you feel anything different about your body now? You just feel like a perfectly fine 11-year-old girl.
Do you feel any different than when you did before you before you went to the hospital?
But the first couple of days I felt different, but then I got used to it.
Were you real tired?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you love to do? What are your hobbies? Do you love to play outside?
Yeah, I like to go outside.
Outdoors? Outdoors girl? Right. So now, when you go to school, you don't have to have anybody with you to monitor you. This is a signal that's implanted that if anything does go wrong, that the medics are alerted to it right away. Is that correct?
She has someone watches her pretty close at school too.
I got an EA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're an EA.
Yeah.
And you also work for More Services.
Yeah.
But you would have to take time off. Natasha, when all this was going through with your daughter, you probably had to just be with her 24/7.
I had to be with her 24/7. I slept with her. I couldn't let her out of my sight.
And now with the younger boy as well, you have to do the same, or he's the same.
They caught him early enough, of course. He's on medication now to prevent having a cardiac arrest.
So is that what they do? So there's preventative measures. So medication would be one of them.
Yes. Yeah.
And he must go for regular monitoring.
Yeah. Regular monitoring. He has a portable AED machine as well. That is just it's something that we. It has to be in the forefront of our mind all the time, and we have to be prepared.
Yes.
Do they expect that they will have to put in a device as well for him?
They're hoping not, because they're hoping the medication will do the job to keep his heart rate low, and of course to prevent an issue.
And I heard, and everybody heard, that you were recently a model for the Hard Truth Gala that the Heart and Stroke Foundation of New Brunswick puts on. You strutted the catwalk.
Yeah.
I did that too, but I was a lot older than you when I did it, about 5 years ago.
A little bit, eh?
Tell us about that experience. You got a dress made?
Yeah, I had a fashion designer.
What's her name?
Her name is Laura Craig.
So Laura Craig made your dress from scratch?
Where's she from? Do you remember?
Nelson.
Oh, good, local.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you were one of the youngest, like there were 3 girls, I understand, this year at the show?
Yeah.
And what ages were they, the youngest models?
7, 10, and 11.
So you were the oldest of the children.
Yep.
Were you nervous when the lights came on and there's like 1,200 people sitting there watching you or more?
No, because you can't see them.
That's true, isn't it? That big bright light.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, she's amazing.
Did you like having your own fashion designer?
Yeah.
There are very few people in this world that can say they've had their own fashion designer.
I
That's
know.
pretty cool. You have.
I've just had it once, the same as you've had. But so Magic performed that night too, the band. Oh wow, when I did it with Serena Ryder. What an
Oh, yeah.
exciting event for a young girl like you to take part in. And so you really must value the Heart and Stroke Foundation so much.
Yes, Curtis Sisk is
Top.
amazing.
He is.
He's gone above and beyond for our family. He really
Curtis
has.
Sisk with the foundation, I
Yeah.
think he's truly phenomenal too.
Yeah, he is amazing.
So you want people to support this foundation?
It's very important. Yeah, it's. Some people may get tired of listening to me talk about it,
No.
but until it hits home and hits you close,
Right.
it's when you realize the importance of
Mhm.
things like that. And I know you and Dr. Loge made a generous donation that night as well, and I mean it does not go unnoticed in our family.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Do you
Yeah.
like my husband?
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty cool doctor. He thinks you're pretty cool too. He thinks you're just a cat's meow. So we do believe in contributing to the Heart and Stroke
Yes.
Foundation because heart disease is right at the top of health issues and causes of a lot of
Yeah.
problems within our society.
So what's changed at home for you now? Like, you know, so you have your youngest on medication,
Yeah.
and you have
Yeah, Jessie
Jessie
takes
is
medication every
monitored
day
as
as
well.
well.
I take Nadolol in the morning, and then at nighttime before I go to bed.
Okay.
What's it called, dear?
Nadolol.
Nadolol. See, I don't know all these names.
No.
It doesn't make your heart flutter or anything. It just keeps
No,
everything
it keeps my rhythm on my heart
smooth.
slow. Yeah.
Wow. Doesn't you look healthy?
I know.
Like you're the picture of pinkness there.
Did the
Yes.
other kids ask you about it at school? Do you talk about it at school?
No,
Not
but
really?
the teachers told them, but they didn't really say much to them because we were only in grade 2.
Right, they
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
understand a whole lot about it.
No.
But you're pretty mature for your age, right? What else do you want to tell us about your whole overall health picture and having this special thing with your heart and anyone that's listening? Any messages? Anything you'd like to say while you're on TV? The IWK maybe?
Yeah. It's a great hospital.
You liked somebody really special at the hospital though, at the IWK.
Yeah.
And
Tell us.
who was he?
Dr. Dillon, who's my cardiologist.
What's his name again?
Dr. Dillon.
Dylan. Okay. I've heard good things about him. That he was very special to you and he's fantastic.
He's gone another one. He's gone above and beyond for us too.
How often do you have to go back and
We
get
go
checked?
every 6 months.
Okay.
Good.
as
That's
long
not
as-
too bad.
Yeah.
Did you meet new friends at the hospital?
Yeah, I met a clown named Buddington.
A clown. Well, there, now you made friends with. I don't have any friends that are clowns.
I don't
Like, well,
either.
actually, I do, but they're not in costume.
Of a different kind.
Yes. So he was like entertaining,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you keep in touch. When you go back to the IWK, is he there,
Yeah.
waiting for you, and it says hello and welcome back?
Yeah.
So there's some fun parts to it all, even though like you've been through so much for your age. There's a lot of good things that come out of this. Because now she's alerted, you're alerted to what this
Yes,
device is going
exactly.
to make you have
Yeah.
that feeling of security
Yeah,
and
it's-
protection.
It is. It makes you feel a lot better. She's got a little bedside device that downloads from her defibrillator
Oh,
every
okay.
night and
Okay.
goes to him every day.
Mhm.
And if there's something wrong, then he'll know.
He'll know right away.
Exactly.
Right away,
They're on
yeah.
the alert watching you.
Yeah.
And all that stuff that you went through will help your little brother too, because now you were able to know that he had that and he can get better. Well, that's
Yeah.
quite amazing. I think the two of you are quite amazing.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And to know that these specialists are there that can do such things for our viewers that might have it in their family or
Yeah.
need to get testing done or
Yeah.
whatever in advance, it allows people to look into this now
Yeah.
and maybe be cautioned to it all.
Yes. Yes.
So we want to make sure that people support the Heart and Stroke Foundation, support the IWK, and visit their doctors and make sure that they're getting checked out and that the heart is part of that, because it's hard to realize that, you know, at the age of 8 that could happen.
That you could go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
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 But you are a survivor, and we're so thankful that you were able to come on and
Well, we
be
want
our
to thank
special
Natasha and
guest.
Jesse for being here with us today, Natasha and Jesse Russell, and we hope for a whole lifetime of continued health and well-being for all of you.
Yes, you did a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Don't go too far, everybody. We're going to be back with another guest, and you won't want to miss this show. I tell you, this is quite amazing. Thanks, and we'll see you again right after the break. Don't go too far. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I'm Veronique Arsenault, your host today, with my fantastic co-host Judy Loge.
Yes.
That was a wonderful segment in that last segment with Natasha and Jesse,
So
wasn't it?
proud of them and
I
thankful
know,
that
I know.
everything turned out so well for Jesse.
I know, and the family in general.
Yeah.
But we have another amazing guest,
Hello.
and Jack Dinan is joining us, so welcome.
Hi.
And you've been on the show before.
Yes, I was on when I had my LVAD.
Yeah.
Right, so tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into everything that's happened and what's going on with you now.
Well, I could start off, I could say my LVAD was a left ventricle assist device.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And that was an electric pump within my heart. It was then pumping for my left side of my heart.
Okay.
And I had a battery pack on my side.
Wow.
When you were here 2.5 years ago, you were, let's just say, not in great shape. You were
No.
you were short on breath. Actually, just to be honest, I saw you about a month ago and didn't recognize you. I didn't
Really?
recognize them. I noticed your wife and I thought, well, that must be your husband.
That must be.
And I thought, look at you, you're just amazing. So at that time, you were awaiting a new heart,
Yes.
awaiting for a heart transplant.
So how did you first know that you were having heart problems, Jack?
Well, I was at work, and I was on a shutdown. We were shutting down a boiler. I got real tired that day, and when I went home the next morning, I got up, and I told Dawn I had to go to work, and she said, "You're not well enough to go to work," so we went to the hospital,
Okay.
Really? Okay.
and they found out that I was out of rhythm.
Yes.
My whole
Oh,
heart was.
okay. Okay.
And so we went from there. I was 54 at that time. And
Still a young
So-
man.
Yeah.
I went for 11 years before I got a new heart.
11.
Really?
And when I got my LVAD, and it made life an awful while different.
Of
Okay.
course it would. It
Because
kept your heart
I could
pumping.
I felt so much better.
You felt the difference.
And
eh?
then after around 2 years, they started, I felt like it was wearing out.
Okay.
And so on May the 17th of 17, we went down to the Halifax
The heart center they have, yes.
at the Heart Center, and because I had a team down there at that time, because it was the LVAD team.
Right.
Okay.
Specialist.
And the lad and my doctor in the LVAD team, he checked me over, and he said to me, he said, "Are you waiting home for a heart?" I said, "I am." He said, "I would forget about that now."
Really?
Oh my
He
goodness.
said, "You go out and do whatever you want," because he said, "I don't think you're going to get a heart."
Really? That's very giving you no hope.
Well, it was giving me saying, okay, don't bother waiting. If you want to do something, do it.
I know
How
that,
did,
but
how did you feel?
Shocked,
Was that really hard to hear?
it was.
it was like
must
you were
have
given
been.
a time clock before you were going to be passed, really.
And so Don and I drove home, and
Oh.
we discussed it on the way home. And on the 20th, on the 19th, actually, at midnight, I got a call from Halifax. And they said if I could be on the road in 20 minutes, I could, they have a heart for me.
Oh my God, like the best call ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
How did you must have been so shocked.
Oh, I was.
at midnight.
At midnight,
And you
yeah.
had to be right there. You had to drive right to Halifax.
We drove to Halifax, and Donna drove because I
Yeah.
wasn't able
She's a
to.
great
No.
person.
No.
And so we went down there. We got down there and went in. And
You have a new
Donna told me I walked right in, but I don't remember that.
No.
No.
She said there's a lot of stuff I lost because of the operation.
Right.
And so we went in and they did the heart transplant. I had to wait for the heart to come in.
That's so
It was-
important,
it
if I
was-
may interrupt, about the donation of organs.
Yes.
You know, we had that show on
I know.
about giving
I know.
Yeah.
to people like you that are in need and waiting to
And
continue
like,
on in life.
Donna got me my
Yes, if anyone can get us a look at this, it says, I contain recycled parts.
like Sarah got it for me.
That's hilarious.
And it was because the people said, "Oh, you got a new heart," and said, "No, we didn't get a
No.
new one. We got a recycled one."
Thank God for that
yeah.
person, that
Yeah.
donor.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge thing to undergo, is a heart transplant.
Well, when I was down in Halifax, I was they put me under, and I was under for 6 weeks
What?
before I came out of it that I could actually know what was going on.
So like an induced
Really?
coma? Induced
At-
coma.
At the very first, it was,
Yeah,
and then afterwards, it was
like,
the medicine wasn't working for me,
wow.
and they was keeping me under.
Okay,
And
wow.
so after 6 weeks, they took 2 of the medicines away,
Mm-hmm.
and I came to,
Okay.
and I could remember and see people. And at that time, I was down to, they put me in a wheelchair with a headrest on it so my head wouldn't fall over.
Right.
And so they had physio people working on me to get me working. And in 2 weeks after that, I had a walker and I walked out of the hospital.
You were, but I find you're very calm about everything. Like when you were on the show, you had great aspirations and you had hope. Regardless of that doctor, there's always another opinion and
Yeah.
there might always be a different outcome. And you were just going with it and taking each day at a time. But this happened and you must be feeling like a new person.
Well, it sure made a difference.
You look amazing.
Like everything I did was worth it right from the start.
Yes.
Because now last year in the spring, I went out and I raked my front lawn. That was the first time I did it in 10 years. And so it took me 4 days
to
rake
mow,
the-
to rake. I won't
rake
call
my-
you to rake mine then.
to rake
Jack.
my.
We can't pay them by the
I was
hour.
going to book you, but I think I'll wait on that.
I did and I didn't do the back because the
Yeah.
grass grew up too fast.
Okay.
Right?
And this year, I went out and I raked in a day,
Good for you.
and I
Wow.
did the back in a day. But
Yeah.
So it's coming you're getting
So-
more energy all the time.
and where I was in the Weight Watchers, that was my biggest thing because I had to lose weight to get a heart.
I remember on the show you were saying
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
and that's a big deal too to try to get that weight down.
It was, especially when you couldn't move.
Exercise.
Right. Exactly.
So you
Like-
had to eat properly.
Like now, we're in the I walk between 10 and 13,000 steps a day
You're
with my
kidding.
with my thing, and I use the treadmill all winter
Yeah.
because I can't go outside, I can't
No.
fall down,
Right.
You're very ambitious.
and so
So how long have you had your recycled heart now?
for 2 years,
2 years.
and May the 20th, I
May
got
the
it
Okay.
on 17.
2017.
Yeah.
What
Isn't
did
that
they
incredible?
say? What were your limitations for the longest time as far as, like now you can go out and do things in a normal way, but as far as like walking, how long before you're able to go for a walk with Donna, a block?
Well, my doctor down there he said to me, he looked at me and he said, you are the limit.
Oh.
He said, whatever you can do, do.
I love it.
But he said, when you reach the limit, stop.
Right. You'll know when
Yeah.
that's enough. Enough is enough.
He said, I can't tell you how much you can do because he said, everybody's different. But he said, you do whatever you want to do. And he said, whenever you get tired, stop.
Okay. Now, with this, like prior to receiving the new heart, were things different as far as appetite went? Like you'd be lethargic, but as far as like you wouldn't feel really good, so to eat and have a hearty meal, did things change like a lot, like your appetite and all of that afterwards?
My taste changed.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
you had lost your taste?
No, like when I first came out, I didn't have any taste.
Oh.
And then I got different taste. Like the things I really liked before,
You didn't like it
it
anymore?
Tasted
Really?
funny?
it tasted
Like
funny.
metallic?
Yeah,
Really?
I had that metallic taste for a year.
Okay.
Oh, that would be gross,
No,
wouldn't
it
it?
would.
And then right now, you know, you're getting back to liking stuff again.
How often do you have to have the heart checked in Halifax?
Once a year.
Once a year. That's good.
Do you, so you received the heart because a donor
Yes.
provided it. Have you ever thought about wanting to meet the donor? Or not the donor
No.
itself, obviously, but the family of the donor?
Like my daughter Sarah, she wrote to the donor,
Nice.
Really?
the donor's
The
family,
donor's family?
and she told her how everything was.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at Christmas time, this Christmas just went by,
Yeah.
we got a letter from the donor's
Yeah.
mother
Oh my.
and thanked her for the letter.
Yeah.
So hard.
Oh,
it's
my
so
goodness, yeah.
bittersweet, right? They've
Yeah.
lost their loved one
Exactly.
and you've gained a life
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
that special person having
Yeah.
signed that document to say,
Yeah.
take my organs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've talked a lot about that because April was Organ Donation Month, and we talked a lot about that, and it's been obviously in the news more so because of Avery Astle,
Yeah.
who was killed in the car accident and wasn't able to donate because there wasn't a team
No,
available.
I know.
So it's obviously in the news a lot more, especially for us here in the region. So how incredible it was that you were able to receive someone's heart.
But mind you, when I got called, they called me from Halifax.
Mhm.
And my Kate Stone, she was looking after it down there. And she was the one that called me. And she tried the one in New Brunswick and couldn't get her.
Oh.
And
Okay.
so instead of them, like Donna said, you know, they could have just went for a different one. But she called me personally
Yeah.
and told me to get here.
Well, I would love to make that call myself.
I
I would be
know.
the one to couldn't wait to
know.
dial that number and say, look what we
Yeah.
have for you.
Yeah.
Were you nervous at all though going in? That's a huge operation.
Well, it was, thing is, when the doctor told me the 3 days before
That you weren't.
that I didn't have to wait anymore.
Can't believe that. So you should have said, look at me now. Walked in and said, look at me now. Do you want to go for a jog around the block?
But the good thing was I got a new heart.
I know, and I'm so proud.
Isn't that incredible, though, eh? That the roller coaster of emotions that you went through in a few days is absolutely amazing. Yeah.
But not only does he have a quality of life now, and you're a new man basically,
Yeah.
because I didn't recognize you, and
Yeah.
I'm honest about that. Your wife, your kids,
Yeah.
do you have grandchildren as well?
No,
No, but that doesn't matter because your friends and family and your wife, and you're such a close couple, get to enjoy things that
That's
you couldn't
right.
do for the longest time.
Yeah.
So everybody benefits.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. So, what do you want to say to the viewers out there about organ donation or about your journey or anything really you can, whatever you want to share?
well, I would actually say that people should, just like Nova Scotia was talking about, you know, giving everybody give.
Yeah.
I figure everybody should
Should
give.
be mandatory.
Yeah, and if you don't want to give, then you put it in
And
that you
say,
don't.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have it on mine
Oh,
Okay.
because I had jaundice when I was a baby,
Right.
Okay.
and I tried to give blood, and they wouldn't
They
take my
wouldn't
blood.
take it.
Yeah, they have to screen for all
Yeah.
of that.
And
know.
so I just figured everything was,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it isn't.
I know that MLA Michelle Conroy has presented that in the legislature to make it the opt-out option rather than opt-in.
Yeah,
So you know, I know that there's going to be debate and everything about it, and we'll see where that goes. But it's
but I think it's the right thing because
Yep.
there's always us people sitting out there who
Waiting.
don't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you say, well, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But,
Or I should maybe, and then forget to, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I just lost my friend,
Yeah.
Lauren Trevors, and he's a local man who I dearly loved, and I miss him terribly. He was waiting for new lungs
Yep.
because of his lung condition that he suffered with for so many years, and because he couldn't get them, he passed at
Yeah.
59.
Yeah.
So heartbreaking.
I know, and it's and especially too when you hear the story of Avery's family that would have liked to have, you know, seen him live on in other people. Then so it's from both perspectives. It's tough to know that right now we're not in a place where we can readily have
No.
that service available.
Well, also, if you have a weak liver or you have, for example, a pacemaker in your heart, you can't donate your heart because
that's
you're
right.
not going to be beneficial
Yep.
to anyone receiving it.
Yep.
But if you have two, you know, a brain that's intact and eyes that
Yeah.
are wonderfully, you know, your vision's good and all
Yep.
that, there's so much you can give.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that you may not be
Yeah.
eligible to. So you
No.
have to weigh it all out and
Yeah.
opt, like you said.
Well, we really want to thank you, Jack, for sharing your story.
So
and
proud of you.
We're so
Yeah.
glad to see you back. It was 2.5 years ago, I think, that you were here with us.
Yeah.
And we're so glad to see you back and feeling good and that your
Looking
recycled
great.
parts are doing pretty good.
And you know, one thing they did with after did my heart, gave me a new one. They took my old one, did an autopsy,
Really?
Oh.
and because I asked the doctor
I suppose, yeah.
why I was
Yeah.
what was wrong with my heart,
Yeah.
and he came back. I was born with it,
Okay, it was congenital.
Okay.
with congenital, and I had that virus hit it
Oh.
and swelled it up. He said if I didn't get the virus, I would never have known about it.
It would have been a normal life.
Yeah.
Really?
That's so interesting.
Isn't that fascinating, actually?
Well, I'm so happy that you agreed to come back on the
Mm-hmm.
show because we like to have follow-ups. You know,
Yeah.
the story that leads into something very end result is wonderful. Is
But I
great.
can see everything just going perfect now.
Good.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Makes me happy.
I know.
It made
and-
my Monday.
I know. And like really, and to hear your story and how much you've gone through and to see you sitting here and to talk about raking the lawn and mowing the lawn and all of that.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah.
about 20 years younger. How's that? I'm not
That would
lying
be
to you.
nice.
I'm sincere about that. Wow, it's just
Yeah,
crazy.
isn't that amazing? So we want to thank you, Jack, and we want to thank Natasha and Jesse for joining us today. It was amazing. You know, please reach out to your family and let them know that you want to donate your organs and connect with the Heart and Stroke Foundation and whatever it may be. So thanks so much. We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
Monday.
Have
It was
a
a
great
wonderful
week.
show with you. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.